his voice. And doesn't Maureen Dowd have a finely tuned moral compass? I don't know. She dodged. I don't know what the fuck's going on in this article. This makes no sense to me.
No, it's all over the place.
Yeah, this is fucking a really bad, poorly written article. But yeah, basically, anyway, what we need to take away from this is that there's a New York Times columnist who is admitting that powerful co-workers don't want to report on Trump at all unless it's negative, and also don't want to report on Hillary at all unless it's positive. This is just literally someone from inside the organization admitting exactly what we've been saying.
We've got a few people from inside the organization that admitted this.
And this is what we've been saying for 22 episodes of the fucking weekly narrative here. This is what's going on. Basically across the board in every mainstream media outlet, including Fox News, and basically so it's a fun little tidbit.
Yeah. So this one's a little bit of a black pill. It's kind of low energy, and then when you think about it, it's kind of high energy too. It's a little bit of both. So this comes from CNN. Last call for the working class whites.
Yeah, I have some audio here if you want me to cue it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
We talked a lot, John, over the course of the campaign about the importance of the white working class, and now we have this detailed look at what drives their politics.
At its core, Anderson, what drives the politics of the white working class is economic anxiety and feeling left out of the economy and feeling ignored by government. Look at this. Will your children be worse off? Essentially, the American dream question. Will your children be worse off than you? 50% of the white working class thinks the answer to that is yes, that their children will be worse off than they are. And as you can see, the black working class is 43%. The white college graduates, Latino working class, this is a much higher number than these other subsets. Economically, they are pessimistic about what comes down the road for themselves, but more importantly, for their children. Also, they don't think government understands this problem and understands that. How well does government represent your views? The percentage saying not at all well. Look at this, 56%, much higher than these other groups. Nearly 6 in 10 members of the white working class say, my government doesn't get me, it doesn't represent my needs and my concerns. You could understand why an outsider like Donald Trump would appeal to somebody like that. Economics again. What do trade agreements do here? What impact do they have? Only 5% of the white working class say international trade agreements create jobs in the United States. That's what the president says. That's what Hillary Clinton said for a long time in her political career. They agree with Donald Trump. 69% of the white working class says trade agreements bleed jobs from the United States. Only 21% say they make no difference at all. Now, remember that 70% number, just about 69% there. Shouldn't surprise you then. Of those considering voting for Donald Trump, members of the white working class, 79%, Anderson. So nearly 8 in 10 members of the white working class who say, I'm thinking about voting for Donald Trump, agree the trade agreements cost U.S. jobs. Among the white working class who say they're not thinking about Trump, still a pretty high number, 61%, but 8 in 10 think of white working class voters who are thinking about voting for Trump, they're with him on this. They think NAFTA should be ripped up like Donald Trump promised.
What about immigration? More specifically, Trump's calls to be tougher about letting Muslims into the United States.
No question, that same anxiety and now security anxiety factors in. First, more broadly, this is just the white working class. Immigrants today burden the country or strengthen the country? Nearly half, 47% of the white working class say immigrants are a burden on the country today. Only 40%, and we don't have the other groups up here, but this is higher. This 47% who say this is a burden, that's higher than other groups, especially white college-educated voters. Now, the terrorism question you asked. Immigrants from Muslim countries, do they increase the terror risk? 63%, more than 6 in 10 of the white working class in this country think yes, Muslim immigrants or immigrants from Muslim countries increase the terror risk. And probably no surprise you can make this connection. 82% of white working class voters considering voting for Donald Trump agree that immigrants from Muslim countries increase the terror risk. Among those not considering Trump, drops to 37%. So there's no question. This big group, they agree when they hear Donald Trump say we have to do something about it, there's something going on, we got maybe a temporary Muslim ban. They agree, Anderson.
Do the numbers back up the idea that this group, white working class, is the base of Trump's support?
Yes, and overwhelmingly so. You just mentioned it'll be about 40% of the electorate when we get to the election. It's down from 20 or so years ago, but 60% of white working class voters are considering voting for Donald Trump. Look at that. 6 in 10 white working class voters say, I'm going to think about voting for Donald Trump. That's a stunning number, but now look at this number. 68% say they will not consider voting for Hillary Clinton. So she has a huge problem with the white working class. Only 3 in 10 white working class voters will even give her a chance, Anderson. That's pretty overwhelming.
Yeah, it's pretty overwhelming.
Yeah, of course they don't feel like like their problems are being addressed, because they don't feel like they're represented, because all you hear is blacks this, Muslims that, mestizos this. Like, we need to bring these people in. No one's up there like, hey, we need to fight for the white people.
Yeah, 8 years of Barry Obama will do it too. I'll tell you.
6 out of 67%, 6 out of 10. That's nice, but get 7, 8, 9. Then it would be a little bit better.
Well, these are the roots that we're laying down.
That's true,
right? Like, these are the people that. There was a great daily show this week. I don't know if you guys had a chance to listen yet, but they basically spent 3 hours plus trying to make a Vice reporter understand. It was similar to the Gawker thing, but it was even better. And I think it was Alex McNabb that said, we're not trying to turn people. We're not trying to convert a bunch of people. We're basically trying to get a bunch of people that already believe this to know that it's okay to believe that. Like, they're basically giving. You basically need to give these people permission to be say it's okay for my own rights. Like, I want to, secure the future of my family. That's not, a bad thing.
It's interesting too, because like I know that they've said this a few times as well, that all these other cultures, they vote as an ethnic bloc. We're one of the few that doesn't vote as an ethnic bloc. Like, if we did, we would all pretty much be voting for Trump.
Yeah, I found it kind of interesting that he said 60% of white working class people are considered to vote for Trump. And that's a good number, don't get me wrong, but I don't know what he means. It doesn't say in this article what he means by working class, because
it's probably
that
a salary.
I assume so, but how big of a chunk of the overall white population is that? Because 60% of the working class, if working class is only, 75% of the population, it's not really a huge market of people.
Yeah, that's like 50% of white people in America.
40, 50, yeah. Here we go, as we've said before, if we get into the low 90s of white people, it would be landslide victories if we realize that. Anyway, you want to say anything else about
the protest, the curfew shooting at 9 o'clock tonight?
No, we covered us. I said all I really wanted to say regarding that. Obviously, the other white people in general who are white don't feel like their needs are being met. Because, like I said, all you hear about is we need to, do this for the blacks, do this for the Mexicans, do this for the refugees. We need to do some stuff for ourselves.
I guess I was trying to get at was the fact that these are the ripe seeds to be sown with the alt-right here. These are the people that are very responsive to our message and very interested in what the alt-right is bringing to the table. Nobody else out there is advocating, shutting out immigrants, and some of the numbers are absurd. Like it was something like 40% or something of these people surveyed think immigration is a net negative or something like that. Like, I forget the exact terminology, but that's huge. Like, if they were talking about in general, that means a decent chunk of the white working class thinks that any extra people coming into the country is bad. Like, that's a huge chunk of people. That could be, that's extrapolated out into tens of millions of people, and that's a pretty key column of the right. There's only so many other dots that we have to connect here to get those people on board, and pretty soon they're going to be, shouting this word down. It's not that far of a connection to make. So it's interesting. To me, definitely, it's an interesting survey. Anyway, let's keep it rolling here. Oh, last thing in this little chunk here. So, guys, we're famous again. Antifa came out and named basically every TRX show except Texas Americans. So
it's a funny read.
I am going to post how much I made a good point on Twitter about this. I am going to post the archive of this so we don't give them traffic to the site. But this is from antifascistnews.net. The title is "Why is SoundCloud Supporting White Nationalist Podcasts?" fucking way. So there's a few tier list Easter eggs in here that made me mad. In a recent episode of Fash the Nation, the most popular podcast on the Right Stuff Alt-Right Podcast Network, hosts Jazz Hands McFeels and Marcus Halberstram joked with glee that their podcast had hit #1 on SoundCloud. Though this might be shocking, it is actually only the top spot among conservative political podcasts, though this is still a frightening development. Podcasting has been a central tool of the alt-right white nationalism, with early adopters like Richard Spencer and Radix Journal. Radix Journal really making it a delightfully outreach. The model was further popularized by the Right Stuff, who took an Obie and Anthony style talk show format with alt-right themes, complete with their own Chan-type jargon and aggressive use of racial slurs and incendiary rhetoric. Radix Journal. In recent months, Radix Journal has been making a delightfully content has been obvious for many popularized by Radix Journal podcasts and Red Ice Radio being dropped from iTunes, and the Daily Show being let loose from SoundCloud. This shuddering, however, seems to be short-lived as the growing Right Stuff Podcast Network, of which Daily Show is the last month, has made SoundCloud a key broadcasting and outreach platform for many platforms. The Daily Show itself has found a way to get back on SoundCloud by going under their radar, being aware that their name is likely what brought shuddering in the first place. There are multiple streams and accounts at play for various Right Stuff podcasts, including shows like The Weekly Narrative and Darwin Digest. Hey, oh,
Pastor Troy, you're on this now, too. I'm sorry, I'm not real fast, guys.
The Daily Show is now included in their recent stream just called TRS Radio. The stream with the name TDS. And then the episode number. This is essentially a way to trick SoundCloud into allowing them to broadcast, even though they're saying image or stream ads. The Daily Show is now included in SoundCloud and just called feature following their jazz hands. Following the Right Stuff's example, other fascist organizations are using SoundCloud to start their podcast outreach. Nathan Domingo and Identity Europa are now broadcasting under the name On the Front, while there are also accounts for white supremacist troll Weave, the Radix Journal, the New Alternative Right, Red Ice Radio, Radio 314, and many others. SoundCloud has already shown that they are not going to tolerate openly racist podcasting on their platform, so it begs the question as to why it is continuing. The primary reason is that the issue itself just has not been raised. What this means is that anti-racists internationally need to contact them and let them know exactly what is going on here and what podcasts are broadcasting a message of hate. Below we are including the contact information to report these podcasts to SoundCloud, as well as a list of open white nationalist alt-right podcasts that are using SoundCloud to extend their reach of violence. Write and call in and let them know that you do not support these voices of racial nationalism and reactionary force on SoundCloud. And then they have a list of basically every terrorist show, of which we are the fifth from the top, which I'm happy about. We're right under Red Ice. We're between Red Ice and Radio Free Skyrim, which doesn't even they don't even record anymore, which is funny. But my favorite part is Fashion Nation is the very top of the list, but they misspelled it. They spelled it Fast the Nation, F-A-S-T. So now you're gonna get a bunch of fucking neckbeards calling in and saying, I don't want to listen to any more Fast the Nation. And SoundCloud's gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't exist.
So it's F-A-S-T-T-H-E.
Yeah, that's the new fash. That's the new meme. I'm gonna ask Jazz Hands about that next week. I didn't know you guys renamed the show Fast the Nation. That's really, is that like a Gandhi thing? Like, how did you guys, what is that?
I don't know how many comments are on there now. When I read it, there was only one comment, and it was like, done and done. Who would let people say such hateful things?
But I want you to understand.
I thought about making a thing and comment and be like, shut the fuck up,
for
Fred.
the better part, not even the better part, for the entire night.
Yeah, the one that Jonathan Wade comments, done and done. We need to weed those fuckers out.
Peaceful protest.
I was thinking of commenting and being like, this is the host of the Weekly Narrative. Fuck you. Just like, I don't think they would let it go through, but
that would be funny.
Yeah, these fucking people. These are the same people that they recorded on the show at, like, I think last year, May of last year or something like that. But These fucking people have nothing better to do than to call into SoundCloud and be like, excuse me, there's racism on your website. Like, dude, get a fucking life, man. You just don't listen. Just don't listen. It's not. It's easy. Yeah, these people don't understand.
What's your thought on this, Fashy Isaac? Are you with this? You think we should be pulled off SoundCloud?
We need to hear more Fashy Isaac here.
No, of course not. It should be pulled off SoundCloud. It doesn't make any sense. I'd love to think that there's a TRS member that's on the other side of the phone fielding all these calls being like, fuck you guys.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
But what I love about the article is the classic TRS radio, like, insignia of just a fucking oven.
Yeah, I know.
I saw that too. That was so funny.
It's so in your face. It's like, oh god, whatever could they mean? They should rename once they get shut down, as I'm sure we're all going to get shut down. They should rename it like the TRS Cooking Network or something, and then just keep the same avatar. That would be great. Sven, you should do that. But we made it. We're famous here. So that's pretty much it for the interesting stories here, guys. We are going to listen to a great commercial here, which is Hyundai. I don't know if it's really going to come across in the audio, but basically what it is Hyundai's doing this new campaign where it's like comparing their car with a competitor car, and they're like doing weird things to the car, like suspending it over like a pool of alligators or something, or like pushing it towards a wood chipper or something, and like the Hyundai doesn't have any danger, but like the other competitor is like in horrible danger. Basically, it's one of those, and the car that's in horrible danger is just like a white, like a fucking white male, and then the driver of the Hyundai is a frizzy-haired, light-skinned black woman, and at the end, they literally show the white guy and they say, good, and then they show the black woman and they say, better. Like, it could not get more explicit. I don't know if it'll come across, like I said, but we'll take a listen here.
Good or better? The Hyundai Tucson versus the Ford Escape. Estimated fueling costs, the Ford's higher. Estimated routine repairs, the Ford's higher. What's happening? And in fact, Hyundai has the lowest 5-year cost to own of all brands for 2016. So again, Ford's higher.
That's really high.
Very funny! Better is the reason to buy Hyundai. The 2016 Tucson from Hyundai. Good or better? The Hyundai Tucson.
Alright, it just repeats, but you guys get the idea. That was sent to me by a listener who I regretfully forget because it was a few days ago, but thank you, sir. He sent it to me on Twitter. Submission, so thank you. There you go. Just a more little subliminal notes with the frizzy hair, black woman there having better written across her fucking forehead in the commercial. So that's good stuff. So let's move into the donations here, you guys. We got a wonderful amount of donations this week. My merchant purse is very happy. So let's do the recurring shout-outs here first. We got Mr. Chris, who gave us 15. Jakazi gave 5. Sam gave 15. Salim CZU gave 15, or 1488, I should say. Fascist Father gave 1488. Dino Khan gave 1488. Soccer Mom gave 5. Thank you, man. And then last but not least, our very own Fashy Isaac gave us 1488. So thank you, Goy. You made the world a better place. And then we also got a BitCheck donation of $10 from Mr. Fashy Pasta at Fashy Pasta said some BitCheckers, guys. So thank you, sir. So as of right now, we're kind of going a little ghetto style right now with the donations links in my Twitter bio and whatever I decide to tweet out when I'm feeling merchanty. But we are building a site right now, and we're going to have easy access PayPal, whatever's most convenient for you guys. So that is the future here. And like I said, we're also going to be having some merch.
Well, I'm in here, but my computer isn't in here. It's freaking odd.
We're creating a space out here, so give yourselves a round of applause out here. Stop the momentum that we have right here in Dallas. They want to stop the momentum we have right here in Dallas. Because every time there's an injustice anywhere, we show out right here in Dallas. Dallas strong. This is Dallas strong. Dallas strong. We stand out here with no guns, no badges, no vests, and we stand against tyranny every day. This is Dallas strong. Tell you what, we ain't going nowhere. They arrested me twice in 6 days.
Yeah.
And still we stand, because I'm out. Black Lives Matter.
Everything's good.
And we are united together. Don't let your fire burn out today. Don't let your fire burn out today, because all they did was create a new social caste, a new racial caste system. This is a new Jim Crow. This is amnesty going on. They just changed the system. They didn't want black and brown people to vote. They didn't want you to be able to get a job, get houses so they can feel superior. And when the federal government said that's against the law, we can't really do it like that. They created a new system called the criminal justice system. So even though they throwing little things at it, they give us misdemeanors for protesting. Our very right that the Constitution gave us. They give us misdemeanors with no jail time. I'll tell you why. It ain't even about the jail. If they lock me up for a misdemeanor, that's 10 years I can't carry that weapon like that white boy. See, the system is this to get you caught up, so you can't do the very things that they do. I'm being handed. This is Dallas strong. All power